How are you, boys and girls? Okay? Okay, good. My name is Brian Rockwell, and as Mrs. Robinson was saying, Andrew and Cindy's dad. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I do and some of the things that can be done with the things that I do. Okay? So what I'm going to do is first say, how many of you kids here have a job? Oh yeah? How much do you make? How much you make? Oh yeah?
You pay so much I can make it rain.
Let's just say that I suspect that the majority of the kids here who are in school probably do not have a job. Okay? Now, that will change eventually. At some point in your life, you will want to make a little bit of money. Okay? I hope to give you a couple ideas or a couple hints or pointers that you could use to do so. Okay? I have my two assistants here now. Cindy? So what I'm going to talk to you about today is product development, okay? And I'm going to talk a little about what I've done, my background throughout the presentation, okay? But for now, let's just assume that you know my name and you know I'm going to talk about product development. Does anybody know what product development is? Yes? The making of a product. That is actually a very good answer. That's exactly what product development is. What we call it is product innovation. We call it product design, inventions, pretty much anything that you want to call it that takes something that is made out of a raw material and makes it into something you can use. The chairs that you're sitting on, the floor that you're sitting on, the roof over your head was all designed and built by somebody. It required effort to get that final product. Okay? Okay, so let me talk a little about who I am. I have a bachelor's degree of science in chemical engineering. I graduated from Rutgers, which is, of course, my alma mater, which is what I carry on my little flag over there. And I have been certified as a project manager professional. Unfortunately, I lost that about a month ago, and I'm having to get it back. Inside joke, sorry. Okay, so also, if you notice, I talked about I have industrial experience in pharmaceutical, chemical, energy, mining, laboratory, and manufacturing. What does that give me? That gives me a broad experience or broad background by which I'm able to talk to people and understand what they want. Now, the job that I have right now, and we'll get into that in just a second, but let's talk about who's this guy. You know who he is? Lance Armstrong. Excellent. Anybody know who Lance Armstrong is? I said no, Lance. Who is he? Oh, excellent. He's a famous biker who used steroids to win. Okay, why don't you hit the button, Cindy? And it is Lance Armstrong. Okay, hit the button again. Okay, born in Plano, Texas, 1971. He started his professional career at the age of 16. 16, he began to win races and make money doing that. He started to race triathlons at the age of 15. Not professional, but he was already riding a bike as a teenager, basically, is what it's after. He now is 42, I think. He's about 42 years old. Okay, anyway. He won many races, of course, and he even won a gold medal in the 1993 Olympics for a time trial. Okay, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer that spread to his lungs, abdomen, and brain. It went into recession due to some some drugs he did take that helped him to reduce the effects of the cancer, and afterwards, subsequently, he went on to win 7 Tour de France, which is of course one of the biggest. It's like the Gold Cup or World Cup of racing, of bicycle racing, after being diagnosed with cancer. Just an amazing feat. However, as you said, he used steroids, right? In 2012, who was he talking to?
Wasn't he like a news?
Who did he talk to? He talked to somebody very famous, and he told them. Does anybody know? Oprah Winfrey. Yes. He disclosed with Oprah Winfrey that he had been taking what they call performance-enhancing drugs. Now, okay, I'm a cyclist. Performance-enhancing drugs could be blood doping, taking steroids, as they call it. It could be doing a lot of other things. I mean, the rules change quite often, okay? But needless to say, he broke the rules. He was debarred from ever racing again in a professional racing circuit, and basically they took away all of his wins, the victories that he had for the Tour de France. Does that change the fact that he's an excellent cyclist? No. And I still think he is one of the best, okay? Irrespective of how he got there. So, competition. Lance Armstrong is a very good cyclist, but he uses something to his benefit. And you see what he's riding, and of course I brought my bike as well. That bike there that you see is a highly specialized bicycle that's basically costs more than most cars do, because it costs about $30,000. Yeah. It has it's carbon fiber technology, it's state-of-the-art, high-end compositions to make it as light and as aerodynamic as physically possible. Okay? So look at this. Is that a bike? Yes. It is. But it's a concept bike, meaning that this is a design that somebody came up with and said, and this actually is Lance Armstrong's a concept bike. This is something that he helped design. So they said, what can we do to make the bike better? How can we make it faster? How can we make it lighter? How can we make it do the things that it needs to do, but even better than it does right now? We call that innovation, product innovation. That is what is the basis of most product development, is how can you make it cheaper, faster, stronger, lighter, heavier, whatever you want to call it, blue, anything you want to call it, that is considered product development. Okay, so let's talk about products in general. What is a product? A product is anything that you want to buy. Sorry, it was a rhetorical question. A product is anything you want to buy, okay? So what we have here is we have 2 types of products. We have commodity products and we have specialty products. A commodity product is something like toilet paper, okay? Now, who uses toilet paper? A lot, right? I hope everybody uses toilet paper, okay? Now, tell me this. Is Charmin better than Angel Soft? Do both serve their purpose?
Yes.
They're a commodity product. There's not a whole lot you can do with toilet paper, okay? Unless you use this fantastically new toilet paper kind. But it's probably not going to happen. It's considered a commodity product. So basically what happens is that the product itself is actually fixed by the price of the market. So the market fixes the price, meaning that if I were to try to sell a roll of toilet paper for $35, do you think I'm going to get many people wanting to buy some toilet paper for me?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay? So pretty much anything you buy is pretty much the same. Okay, a specialty product. Now a specialty product is usually something that has put design or thought into, or some sort of invention has been created to make this product unique. That's why I brought my bike, is because I want to show something to you. If you notice, it has no markings on it whatsoever, okay? That's because I built this bike. This bike is one that I bought the components. The wheel design that you see there is actually my own design. It is unique. Nobody has those wheels in the entire world because I built it. I had a manufacturer and I told him, this is my design. Say, hit one. That's my design. I sent that to a manufacturer. I told him, I want you to build these wheels for me. And they built them for me. They did a part test on it, and I tried it. I did a road test on it. I've been riding up to about 300 miles already. I did the MS 150 on those wheels. Okay? So, when we talk about design, you're looking for something that is unique, some difference with the product itself, and something that is marketable. Something that somebody else wants to buy. If I were to build a space shuttle, but nobody wants to buy it, am I making any money?
No.
How many people want to go to the moon? What? How many people have about $3 billion? Trick question, right? Trick question. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that happens when you talk about products, okay? Okay, so what is this now? When you have an idea, let's say it's up here, and you're thinking of something, and you say, it'd be really cool if I could build myself a new bike. I would build a new one. This is called CAD design. CAD is called computer-assisted or computer-aided drafting. Okay? People used, a long time ago, they used to have a board, a table like that up here, and they would actually draw out on paper the designs that they wanted. That doesn't happen very much anymore. As a matter of fact, it happens very rarely. People use computers. Computers are much faster. They record all the information for you. If you made a mistake, you delete it, you start over again, not a problem. It's very easy to do. Okay? So as you can see, this is something that somebody was designing, some frame design somebody was making. I did pull this off the internet. But this is how it's done. So people will record a design that they want to have for a new bike. Okay, so what's PLM? This is actually what I do. PLM, I don't think anybody knows what PLM stands for. You do? What is it? Okay. I like the attempt. Then the product was correct. Product life cycle management is what PLM stands for. Product life cycle management. Life cycle is because normally when you have a product, you have an idea, a concept, you've developed that concept into an actual product, and at some point in its lifetime, it will be retired either because you have a new product or because it became obsolete. Okay? That's what it means. Okay. So how does PLM work? PLM is considered a computer program. Okay, using computers again. Okay, it controls the design of a product. Oops, I missed my S in there. Sorry, that doesn't say game. That's that design. Sorry. It controls the design of a product. And what happens is when you make something, let's say if I made this bike, and then later on down the road I said, you know what, I can make this better. What I'm going to change the wheels, I'm going to change the fork, I'm going to make the handlebars a little different. So I go back to my CAD program, and I make my change, and then I submit that change for our approval. So you create an approval process so that you control how things are changed. Okay? Companies are very concerned with making sure that when they get to manufacturing, okay, manufacturing is where they actually make the product, because of course you don't want to necessarily make a product one time and then stop. You want to be able to create some sort of an assembly line or some sort of a process line that will create something. So they want to make sure that when the guys are on the floor, when they're sitting there and saying, okay, which one am I supposed to use? They look for a revision. And that revision is controlled through PLM. So what it does is it provides what's called a single source of truth to allow the my customer to